My fiancée broke off our engagement at the rehearsal dinner for our wedding. The room still smelled like garlic bread and cheap champagne when she stood up, tapped her glass, and smiled like she was about to make a toast. Instead, she looked straight at me and laughed. Relax, she said, like I would actually marry a greasy mechanic. A few people laughed. Not nervous laughs, real ones. Her maid of honor leaned back in her chair and added, yeah, you dodged a bullet. I stood there in my suit, one I'd worked overtime for, holding a fork I'd forgotten to put down. My hands felt numb. My ears were ringing so loud I barely heard the rest of it. She went on about different futures, about how she needed someone ambitious, someone who fit into her family's image. She said she'd been pretending for months because it was easier than having an uncomfortable conversation. Her parents didn't stop her. Her dad wouldn't look at me. Her mom just sighed like I tracked grease onto a white carpet. The ring I bought on a payment plan was still in her purse. I left without saying a word. The next morning half the town knew. Screenshots, group chats, jokes about how I should have known my place. Someone left a comment on my Facebook that said, guess love doesn't fix oil stains. I didn't defend myself. I just went back to work. I rebuilt an engine that week. Then another. Took every overtime shift. Started buying tools instead of drinks. Certifications instead of distractions. What she never understood was that I wasn't just a mechanic. I was great at it. 2 years later I bought into the shop. 3 years after that I owned it outright, expanded, hired people, put my name on the sign. The night everything came full circle was random. I was closing up when a familiar laugh echoed through the bay. High heels clicked on concrete. I looked up and there she was, older, tired in the eyes, arm hooked through a guy who looked uncomfortable just standing there. Her car wouldn't start. She froze when she saw me. I didn't smile. She tried anyway. Wow, she said. Guess life worked out for you. I nodded. It did. She laughed awkwardly. So, could you take a look? For old time's sake. I wiped my hands on a rag and handed it to one of my guys. He'll help you. Her face fell. You won't even. No, I said calmly. I don't do favors for people who humiliate others for sport. Her boyfriend stared at her. The silence stretched. I walked back into my office and shut the door. Later that night, I drove home to the house I bought myself. Ate dinner in peace. Checked on the shop cameras out of habit. I don't think about her much anymore, but every once in a while, I remember the way she laughed at me in that room full of people, and I'm grateful she showed me who she was before I wasted my life trying to prove I was enough.